right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse. You're about 30 seconds away from the escape, as we like to call it, from the rest of the world. Go grab a refill right quick and grab a couch, grab a comfy seat, and we'll see you in just a second. It is Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. Welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse. How are you guys? My best friends.
What is up, my brothers?
That was a horse laugh. Good evening. Special shout out. We have something new, but a special shout out. If you're joining us via the podcast for the first time, we want to say thank you for joining us on the podcast. I can't talk. For those of you who haven't heard yet, yes, we're going to start ripping these episodes out to a podcast episode every week so that those of you who can't join us live can catch up and hopefully ask for time off so that you can join us live, so that you can prioritize and put 7 o'clock Central Time as on Tuesday as your Zen hour. But anyway, welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse. How are you guys doing? Steve, Joe, Brett, Daniel, Izzo, Beer Stack.
Hi, Shane.
Hi, Shane. Hi, Shane.
Hey, guys.
Hi, everybody.
It's today Tuesday.
That sounds like the news from Wally World on National Lampoon's Vacation.
I like any day that ends in Y.
It's been a fun weekend. I didn't get to do any POTA or any radio stuff or film YouTube stuff. I had to go do the work stuff. So I'm envious of those that did. I had a great time last weekend, as most of you have seen, going out and hanging out with Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, Mike, KMRD. We had a blast meeting up at the Ray Roberts State Park and having a blast doing that. But enough about me. Steve-O, how are you, sir? And how was your weekend since we've seen you last? We haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, well, I am whipped. Just got my in-laws moved up to South Carolina from Florida. That was the longest 2 days of my life. You know.
That normally happens.
Drive down Monday morning, load the U-Haul, drive back this morning, unload, and then drive home 2 hours to hop on here. So yeah.
Well, at least you got your priorities right. You said, y'all go. I got to go to the clubhouse.
Steve, did you move your in-laws into your house?
Negative.
Hallelujah.
They are first-time homeowners.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
I am crazy proud of them. You know, they got their own place about an hour and a half from me. So close enough that we're there if they need something, far enough away they're not stopping by for dinner.
I was just about to say they're not going to unsurprisingly show up on your door going, "Hi, we're here for dinner."
So,
Joe, Brett.
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. How are you, Shane?
You know, I can't complain.
Thanks for having me tonight.
I'm glad you could be here. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up.
Yep. So
you had some really good weekend. You had some really good videos coming out, or a video coming out this a few days ago, right?
Yeah. What was that about? 2 meter on the 705 as a base station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. My memory's horrible. Yeah. So we done a little of that. Then we had a weekend besides that. So yeah, that's me.
What are weekends?
wait, you had a weekend as law enforcement? What?
Right?
What's that?
He was on call, so he couldn't do any of the fun stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I went to work a couple times, but nothing big.
There you go.
Speaking of fun stuff, I'll be right back.
I forgot what weekends are like. Sometimes I have weekends off, sometimes not. Just depends on what's going on in airline world. I'm just going to jump to the next box over. Beer Snack, how are you, my friend?
I was doing good. I was doing great. See, I was doing good. I had to reset my computer over the weekend. It was not a fun experience, and I'm still catching stuff up with that. But nope. Saturday I went and played radio. That was fun.
Couple days of radio.
Oh, I played Friday night. I went down to one, and then I went out to the shore.
It was
on
fun
Saturday.
chasing you. That was fun chasing you. You always got a good signal on 40.
It was a very fun time. Activated a 3-fer, and when I sent my logs in, I added the wrong park.
Oops.
Apparently, I activated.
Scout 75 is used to that.
I activated apparently New Jersey and Texas at the same time.
Well, isn't there a river that kind of connects them? That they're 100 feet away from each other,
right?
So yeah,
that they are.
The weekend.
Nice. Izzo, my friend.
And apparently wardrobe
screwed
screwed up tonight. Wardrobe screwed up tonight, Shane.
This is 2 streams in a row now that you and I have rocked the K8MRD shirt at the same time, and you didn't even send me a text message this time.
You know what? I'm so
like a bunch of
guys-
girls. What are you wearing tonight? What are you wearing tonight? We can't go to the dance wearing the same dress.
What's it? I've never been to a dance.
Hey, we
What's
said
that?
what happens in Discord stays in Discord.
I was
Wilson's
like,
getting nervous.
I'm jealous.
Right?
I'm jealous of all this game.
Oh,
There you
look
go.
at that.
there you go.
Oh, whoa!
There
What
we
is
go,
this?
everybody.
What is
drum
that?
Roll, drum roll, please.
That needs to be a shirt.
What is that?
That is Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Charlie
Oh,
stickers.
nice!
Look at the durability. It didn't even rip in
Exactly.
half yet.
Look, it didn't pull
Yeah.
off his chest hair.
That's
Now these
quality.
are
Thank God.
Shane. It comes with the disclaimer not to put it on your hairy chest. Just to let you know, okay? So I did at work today. I did some samples, some testing. So we're going to be making some smaller versions, and we'll have those available. We're going to do a giveaway and all kinds of stuff, and
And those are
yeah.
guaranteed to add 5 dB to your signle, right? I mean, look
No,
at that
listen,
antenna.
man. Listen, it's equivalent to a 600 watt amp. That's forget the dB. Like,
There you
boom.
go.
That's
Check,
your
check.
60,
How's my voice sound today, boys? Check, check.
that's your 60-meter antenna, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, since Daniel, since you decided to take over, how have you been, sir? And how are things going on your side of the Continental Divide?
Things are awesome. Happy to be here tonight. I want to take 30 seconds to say,
Do
Hayden,
it.
Ham Radio DX. That's right. Ham Radio DX. Yeah. Hayden, congratulations on reaching 10,000 subscribers. We're all proud of you. Keep it up. And here you do need permission to dance. If you didn't see his short, it's hilarious.
It was awesome. Yes.
Check it
great.
out. Ham
Check it
Radio
out.
DX. Hayden, we're so happy for you. So congratulations.
Well done, sir.
Very well
And
done.
Shaq and Greg, you just let me know how big a sticker you need. I'm sure we can get that printed at any size in order to cover the side of your barn where it says
Hell
Welcome to
yeah.
Ham Radio Clubhouse.
Hell yeah.
We'll take care of that for you.
We
my
know a
friend.
guy. We know a guy.
Izzo,
Yes.
the man, the myth, the legend.
Well, I've been busy with, as you all know, I got like 2 employers, so I'm busy with one employer right now with some stuff that came in, but we're hanging in there. And for those of you who saw my video last night, I got a lot of great comments,
a
positive
great
ones.
video.
Thank you on that
Yeah.
screened. I don't want. What do we want to call it? Screened radio hut. Keep the mosquitoes out and the flies and everything else. And tonight I got home and I was working on sort of like the back work of the video. As you guys know who do videos, you kind of start writing down how do you want to do things and everything. So I'm gonna get real in depth with that over the next a few weeks and everything. But I got an antenna. I got another antenna coming. Don't say nothing. I need an alibi because it's Shane's fault.
It wouldn't happen to be that one that I mentioned, would it?
The spider.
Oh
meat.
no!
Yes.
No! Yes, because you twisted his arm so hard.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Antenna.
Antenna. So I'm tracking that thing like it's Santa Claus. You should see what I was.
Oh, Izzo, hold on one second.
I'm so excited. That antenna looks really interesting.
So I've decided to explore another avenue of ham radio as well, and I've never done DMR before. So I got a great deal on a radio from Anytone, and I'm not going to get this too close because I don't want all my info to be shared, but it says it's going to be here tomorrow.
Nice.
Ooh.
So there is a possibility that I could be DMRing next week.
Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon.
Remember how you got to figure out how to program it.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Well, I have a thanks to Ham Radio 2.0. I have a code plug that I've just got to do a few edits to, since he lives about a bullet shot
Stone's
away
throw.
from me.
A stone's throw.
A stone's throw away
Stone's
from me. We pretty much talk on the same repeaters and stuff like that. So thankfully, he's going to help me out there. I am going to write my own code plug because I put out that tweet a few days ago, and everyone's like, well, you need to learn the code plug, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. Okay, whatever.
We all do it. Well, let me tell you something. In the public safety world and ham radio world and business, we're using code plugs. We always grab one. It becomes our template, and that's how you learn off it. And so guess what? What did he say?
not.
I would.
I wouldn't trust his code plug.
He says I wouldn't trust that code plug.
You know. There's two things you got to change: your call sign and your DMR ID. After that, man,
Right.
you're good to go.
Yeah.
Just don't put Ape's call sign in there, man. You'll be good.
Well,
It's
yeah, no.
WHRC/APE, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I tried to accuse him of being K5YVY, but
Hey, son, I want to say it again. Shane, you did a fantastic job pushing this stuff over to another form of how you can listen to us to the podcasting.
Thank you.
It's fun for all y'all out there. Check it out. The small print warning. Just be careful if you're driving because you're going to be laughing your butts off. We don't want you getting hurt. Check out those podcasts.
And you might hear some I won't say red language, but you might hear some yellow language depending on depending on if we've gotten to the Molson rant or not.
If you get to the Molson rant, I guarantee you, your blood pressure will get going. You'll be going from 55 to 85 in seconds. So
this is what I've become, eh?
Wait! You volunteered for that, brother. You said
everyone wants to hear you.
We should have a rant section,
and everybody, they're all waiting.
Everybody, shh. Good. Okay.
They're just waiting. They are waiting in the chat. They are waiting very patiently. Folks in the chat, it will come.
Gosh. We'll talk about it later.
What grinds my gears?
What grinds my gears?
I want to get into tonight's topic. Let's change the topic, but I want to get into it.
All right.
Shane, do you have an announcement first? I thought you had an announcement for everybody about.
For those of you, let me pull the times up. For those of you who, if you're not watching the Coffee and Ham Radios, guys, you should.
Yes, you should,
because they're freaking awesome. But there's a time change. This Saturday.
Hello. Who stepped on the duck?
Wow.
Hey, I was impressed to pick up.
Saturday.
Hot
Dude, that was like 6 dB gain, okay?
Yeah.
All right, Shane, go ahead.
All right. So this Saturday on the Coffee and Ham Radios live stream, they're going to be doing it 7 a.m. Central Time, and they're going to have Tim Duffy from DX Engineering. And normally they're at 9 o'clock, but because of Tim's scheduling, they had to move it up a little bit. But it is going to be hosted on Chuck's channel, and I'm going to post a link to Chuck's channel on. I'm not even watching the screen. What am I
Scott hit it.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I'm trying to be nice to our friends here.
No. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
8 o'clock Eastern Time. 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So we're gonna have. They're gonna have. I lost my notes. I need more screens. Tim Duffy from DX Engineering is going to be on. They're going to be on Chuck's. I will share the link in the description of this live stream as well as tweet it out. Or you can check out T.O.'s going to tweet that out as well. But Coffee and Ham Radio Saturday, instead of 9, it's going to be at 7 o'clock Central. It's kind of earlier for some of you guys on the West Coast. But Tim Duffy, DX Engineering, you're not going to miss it. If you haven't seen any of the Coffee and Ham Radio's shows yet, you're missing out.
Yes.
Oh, they're great. Absolutely. They are great.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So real quick, Jarrett Green asked a question about mounting his Wolf River coils on top of his pergola in order to hide it from the HOA. And then we have somebody tonight that can answer that for you. And I'm going to bring him into here. All right, here we go.
Open the door.
Hi guys,
The Don.
The Don. Don Army.
and I already posted the answer in chat.
Yeah, but
I mean-
rumor has it Jared doesn't know how to read. So why don't you?
Hey, but he can program, so that's all that matters.
That's right. He knows how to
But-
hammer.
If you elevate a vertical up, the radials will also elevate, and elevated radials have to be cut to the length of the band. So if you have a 40 meter elevated vertical, you're going to have 33 foot radials, and those 33 foot radials will be up off the ground, the entire length of them. We do it occasionally at field day, and I know we've had several presentations at the club, our local club, where they've gone over, a 40 meter vertical. Even a phased array set up that way where the vertical is about 3 feet off the ground and the radials are 3 feet off the ground. And each one of the radials has to be exactly cut and tuned for the band, just like the Element does.
And this
So
is why
Don-
we have The Don on the Ham Radio Clubhouse. If you notice,
Don-
everyone in here zishes whenever Don speaks.
Well, he's officially been voted on as our technical consultant.
Yeah,
But Don,
there you go.
Don, I have a question for you, Don. So installation, so practicality when you install this. So I'm trying to envision this. You have a pergola. If everybody knows what a pergola is, imagine a sort of lattice work or cross sections of different beams that are suspended in the air. So you have potentially two main beams, and then some cross sections across it that make your roof structure that's open most of the
Yeah,
time.
I'm looking at one right now. It's right outside my window. Anyway, go ahead.
So
good.
we-
Thanks for sharing that, Daniel. Because Abe told me it was a car.
Listen, we are now doing the
that's a
scripted
Pinto.
video for our podcast listeners as well as the blind. So listen, we're trying to illustrate this, okay?
Oh, his grinds are gearing.
No, like listen, I'm trying to.
You
We're
mean
all on the
his
same.
gears
Not
are
everybody knows
grinding?
what a pergola is. Not everybody knows what a pergola is.
I
So
thought
let's
it was a Toyota Prius.
hey, listen. Hey, stop. So my question is, Don, when we're actually going to install it, we install the Wolf River coil, and we're on this single beam, right? So say you have multiple radials coming. Say you had 4 radials coming out of this thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how many the Wolf River coil. Can you run? Is it okay to run 2 in parallel along the top of the first beam, and then split out? Like, do you have to have them separated for the first bit? You understand what I'm saying, right? So like, because you have this single.
From what I understand, they all have to come from the feed point. Right?
Yeah, so they come from the feed point, but say that
So from the SO239 or whatever, right?
yeah,
They're all coming from there.
yeah, but do they have to be separated at equal distance, or can they start at
No.
So
Yeah,
say
they don't. No, they don't.
they don't. So you can
No.
run 2 side by side till you get out to the perimeter, then you can break off, right?
Yeah, but that's going to affect somewhat the radiation pattern. But honestly, who cares about the radiation pattern if you can get out? Like in Jared's situation, where he's in this HOA,
Yeah.
and he's having issues with the HOA in the first place. Having an antenna that works, whether it's a complete 180 degrees or if the pattern's a little wonky, hey, you're making contacts, and again, that's the name of the game. So
Because a lot of
when you run them like this and then like square them off, it will change the pattern a little bit, which
Yeah.
is why we try to make them in a somewhat an omnidirectional pattern.
Yeah.
So either you've got 1 this direction and then 2 back out like this, or you've got 4, 1 in each, point of the compass. That's the ideal situation, because then you get a omnidirectional pattern.
Yeah, because I'm just
if
thinking
you
about
change
like
it around, the pattern will change, but who cares? You're getting out.
yeah, because at the end of the day, most of the time we don't want to have like these suspended wires over our pergola. Like we bought this. Pergolas are not cheap,
Right.
and it's kind of like a lot of practical installations. Like we can do a lot of things as hams and install them, but there's a visual aspect for these houses that we have to sort of try to maintain, right? And so that's the part where I'm kind of thinking about if you want to conceal it over the beams, does that cause an issue? So
the only thing about that is, man, that's a lot of wire. Like if it's 40 meters, 33 feet of wire for each radial is a lot of wire. And like on if I had that thing dead center in well, y'all can't see it. I don't know why I'm talking about what I've got. But if you got it on I've got a patio cover, that's a pretty good sized patio. But 33 feet would come right off the edge of that thing, probably 10 or 15 feet on each side. And then one of them, in my case, would be up to the roof, or going up the roof of my house, which again wouldn't be a problem. I don't have radiant barriers or anything like that. Any metal in the roof, basically, so that would be fine.
Jarrett, what he's trying to say there is get a DX commander and an NFET half wave, and you're good to go.
Wait. He didn't say the other magic keywords, so we're okay.
Okay.
What, flex radio? I'll say flex.
I love the answers. I'm watching the chat and I'm dying here. What everyone thinks a pergola is, and I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Dude, they're just trying to get at me. I'm trying to be helpful and resourceful, and they're making fun of me. So like, listen.
And KMRD hit it. If you center load the coil, you can keep the radials on the ground.
Yes.
I don't.
All right.
How do you get the radials from the feed point 20 feet up to laying on the ground?
So what they do actually with the Wolf River coil is the coil actually has at least two sections that you can add to it. And the feed point's down at the ground, and it just moves the coil up,
Right. But Jarrett said that he was putting it on the pergola, which is elevated. Right.
Oh,
so to me, that means that he's setting the tripod portion, for instance, at that top. That's the way I'm reading it.
Yeah.
So if that's not what he meant, then certainly, yes. If he can do anything to get the radio or the base setting on the ground, like the little tripod, then you can just lay them out on the ground. And then in that case, they don't necessarily need to be cut to the length.
I know which one just read.
Putting time
the guys in the chat are killing. I'm afraid to smoke a cigar right now. This is gonna go up my nose.
Jim just knocked it out of the park, so yeah, we'll leave it at that.
What was the comment from Jim?
Prego is that accent you made in college?
Awful. Absolutely awful.
Hold on, Shane. So this has been rolling through the chat the entire time. Somebody turned around and says that pergola, isn't that your flooring? I said, no, that's pergo. He goes, no, that's the pasta sauce. I said, no, that's prego. And then, Jim comes in with, no, prego is that accident from college. Thank you, guys. You have made this stream hilarious tonight. So now Shane has something to say.
Yeah, I was trying to get us on topic. It's not going to happen.
Hold on. Did you say accident from college? I'm trying to find an accident. That's hilarious. All right, so
well, somebody thought it was a cappuccino coffee maker too. So I mean, I'm good with that.
That's a Keurig.
No, that's percolator.
Percolator. You know what grinds my gears?
Welcome back to English. Welcome back to English as a second language. Today, I will be teaching you.
There are 57 amazing people that are watching the stream, and we want to thank every one of you. Y'all are awesome. All right, so on to tonight's topic. And those of you in the stream here have been provided with a list of ham radio myths, urban legends, and things that we just kind of want to go, hey, right?
Pergolas.
Unfortunately, pergolas is not on my
list.
No,
they're actually very beautiful. I actually want to do my deck that way. I do.
Can we move on from pergolas? Can we move on from pergolas, please?
Ready, Steve?
I've been trying, man. I've been trying.
Who said squirrel?
To kind of get to kind of give a backdrop of the reason why we chose this topic is anytime a new ham comes into the hobby, or even me, like an older ham who has upgraded and goes into a different section of the hobby, you always have the folks that say, well, it has to be done this, and you have to do that, and you have to this is the law. So what we've done tonight is we have the Don, as we've established in previous episodes. He's going to help us decipher which things are facts and which things are urban ham radio myths and legends.
Mm-hmm. And right. do we have an auditor for Don's responses coming in tonight for the show?
The chat, the whole chat, auditor. Right?
I was about to say we have 60 people that are in the chat that would be more than happy to.
If you know what a pergola is, if you know what a pergola is, you are qualified to do this next section.
41 thumbs up so far. So,
all right, very good. All right, so we have somebody else to jump in here real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on, there's somebody else that wants to jump in here.
Oh, wait a minute, what do we got? Last minute, I know we threw the keys under the door. Who's coming in? Oh,
we're in trouble.
HWB, Jason, how are you, sir? Really?
And he's like, hang on.
He's on mute. Are you taking a call?
I wanted to make sure that I had you muted there before I unmuted you there. So.
Good man. You're a good man.
Oh man.
I don't care what Frank says.
So well.
Nobody cares what Frank says.
You're right. What are you drinking tonight, brother?
The only time that we care what Frank says is when Frank tells us that dinner's ready.
And that's true.
This is true.
I won't dispute that at all.
This is unknown. This is a cookies and cream stout from Galveston Island Brewing.
Nice.
I'm drinking a Weistefaner Crystal Weiss, which I don't have much left, so I'm gonna have to break here in just a few minutes and go refill that with the this side of the radio brewery Kolsch that I made.
Nice.
But anyway, all right. So on to tonight's list. This is the first item. I'll take the first one. Ham gear is too expensive. It used to be affordable. One must spend a lot of money to enjoy the hobby. Is this a myth or a legend or a fact?
Wrong.
Don, you get the first swing at that.
Well, I think coming up in the last, 10, 15 years when we started getting the bow fangs and stuff like that, I think that this was a myth. That this is now a myth. Back when I started in the 90s, most ham radios were over $300 just starting out. Correct. I mean, the HTs were, you could get a single band HT for in the 150 range, right? But now, and it's, it's the prices have come down so much in terms of what you can afford now. I think there's a lot to be said for, getting out there and getting the less expensive equipment, and the less expensive equipment was good. So, because I remember a day when Alinco was the bow fang of the day.
Correct.
Yep, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Linco came out with the first dual band mobile that did that the cross band, and if you didn't do it right, you overheated it.
Yeah, I have an Alinco sitting here that it was my first dual band HT.
Don, do you think
580J or something?
Don, I think the first affordable was when Radio Shack came out with their single VHF UHA HTs. That was along with the 10-meter mobile that came out.
Yeah,
but I think that helped get a lot of hams going too, portable wise, HT wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Jason, you've been around a long. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I remember the Radio Shack days that's where I started looking for radios and stuff. We had one. Now I grew up in very rural North Texas, and we had one Radio Shack every, I would say maybe 100 miles, 75 to 100 miles, and that's where I went to look for radio stuff, even way back then.
Yeah.
My grandfather, as most of you know, was into ham radios. My uncle was into ham radio stuff, and the only option we had was Radio Shack. or you wait for the catalog from somewhere because it wasn't this online buy-in stuff. You had to wait for the catalog and mail order it.
You got to think too, and I was just realizing this.
The catalog?
I was so much younger, and I wasn't earning the money I'm earning today.
That is true too.
I would have to save up even to get something from Radio Shack, right? So,
not to go too far off topic, but I remember the first cell phone my parents got. It was a bag phone, and I think they paid like $1,100 for it, $1,200 for it.
Man.
I wish I still had it because that was analog, and man, that little 1 or 2 watts we had would talk anywhere. It was great.
Just say I wish I still had my old Nokia.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That battery would last you a week and a half.
Where you could play Snake.
Yes.
Yeah, and the only reason you put a case on it was to put to protect the floor.
You know it.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to open the floor to the next. Which one of you wants to grab the next one off of our list of?
I think we should skip number 2 and go to number 3.
Fiction. All right, go right ahead. Do it.
I think Jason would have the answer for this.
In the old days, there were more hams than there are today.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to go with fiction on that, and Jason just did some research on that, so I'm going to let Jason take that away while I get a refill.
Get a refill. Okay, so if you're talking the United States, which I was very clear, one of you has wind noise. I think it's probably Dawn.
That's me. Sign off. I see some lightning. I'm gonna switch locations.
Cool.
Okay.
So I'm sure if I hear it, the audience does too. All right. Yep. So in a nutshell, I did a video on this only about a month ago, and it's called "Is Ham Radio Dying?" And I got a lot of really good comments on it. And in a nutshell, after they removed the last code requirement from the extra test in 2006, it has been on a steady incline since then. And I'm talking about inside of the USA. And the USA has more hams than any country in the world. But in the USA, it's been on a steady rise since then. Even before COVID in 2020, it was still going up in 2017, 2018, 2019. We got a really big shot in the arm last year, yes, but it was already on a rise after that. I don't know what 2021 is going to look like, whether it's going to level out or maybe it'll take a small dip because there's so many people getting licensed last year. But I suspect that even if it does take a small dip this year, it'll continue to be on the rise. Just there's more access to information now than there was when I was licensed. There's you could get an HRO or an AES mail order catalog back then. You can maybe not Japan, Jeff. You might be right. I don't know. I would like to see research on that. I could be wrong about that. It's either Japan or us. But where was I going with that? But you've got more. People were talking about. Somebody made a joke in chat. I know it was a joke that online sales are killing ham radio, and it's actually. And I know that was a joke, and it was funny. I laughed. The exact opposite is true because used to be. I mean, how many HRO stores and AES stores there used to be? Like 3 in the nation. I mean, how many people actually had a ham radio store they could drive to within a half hour? Not very many people at all. And now everybody can get on the internet and buy amateur radio gear really a lot easier it's easier accessible. It's easier to get a hold of. It is cheaper now than it was. I could talk about that subject all night. But no, I mean, it's been on a steady rise. If you go look at the statistics and numbers, it's been on a steady rise since 2006. And I think it's going to keep going for that as well, because there's a lot of because YouTube's doing a really good job with promoting it. So is Facebook's, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit. There's a big amateur radio audience on Reddit. So yeah, that's a myth that's just simply the statistics do not support.
Yeah, and Jason, it looks like just a quick search. Japan does outnumber the U.S. quite a bit. I was wondering if that was true, but yeah.
I'm not sure because Josh and I had it out one time on the live stream, his live stream chat, and we dug deep into the statistics, and Japan is down to 750,000, and we're over 1.2 million. That's current. Because I was falling for the same thing that Jeff is falling for. I kept pulling up the old numbers because my argument was Japan has more. And Josh was like, oh, no, we have way. And he was right. So I distinctly remember us doing the research on that.
Now, Japan,
doing the matching Google stuff.
Yeah. Japan as a country embraces it a little bit more than we do because I'm told, I've never been to Japan, but I'm told, I know guys who have been, you can just walk down the street and like the way you find McDonald's here, you find ham radio or electronics, two-way communication stores down there. They're very prevalent. Oh, wow. The Tokyo Ham Fair is like this huge blowout event every year. Nice. So I'm told it's very, people know what it is there. You walk down the street here and people may or may not know what ham radio is, but everybody knows what it is there. So it's a lot more well known. But does that mean they have more? I have no idea. I have not looked at those statistics myself.
Yeah, I think if you do per capita, maybe, but
yeah.
So I love to do the next question, Shane.
All right, go right ahead, my friend.
So we've subdivided our questions from ham culture to antennas and tuners and rigs, and we do have a rapid round, a quick round. And for me, being the crap disturber I am, this one may not warrant a reply, but the ARRL is a representative democracy. Its members control policies through the power of the ballot.
I wish someone had a one of those soundboards where they could play the crickets.
Right.
we just got our little podcast advertisement spot. That's good. Next.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that. No.
All right, I'll choose another one.
I'm not a member of the ARRL. I did a couple of years in a row, but I'm not current. I'll say that much.
All right, so there's all kinds. I'll choose. There's one that I don't understand. Can I do two? I'll do one that should be quick and one. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of them is I can hear them, I can work them. I think most of us can answer that, but who wants to answer that one?
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with no on that.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I can hear you doesn't mean you can hear me.
I mean, you could be putting out 1.21 gigawatts, and I can hear you, but you're not going to hear me on my 100 watts coming from my InVent half wave.
Well, it's a little hard for them to hear you when you forget to turn your power up from 1 watt,
Yeah. All right, so this one here is the one that I don't necessarily understand. So we took all these from online forums, and so I understand it, but I don't.
Online forum.
Myth.
So this is technical. Modifying a radio for general coverage transmit is illegal. Furthermore, you will burn in hell. So
that one must have come from
modifying a radio for general coverage transmit is illegal.
So my initial reaction to that is no, because as an amateur, we do have the ability to experiment with radios, and we can build our own transmitters. But I will defer the rest of that to the Don in 5SKT, because I'm sure he has a way better explanation than I do.
Well, you can modify it. Still it's illegal to use it. Then on frequencies where outside the ham bands, you can, and people do this obviously, get on CB with a Yaesu FTDX10. And by the way, that question kind of varies from country to country.
That's true.
Because there are guys in that are always asking on the FTDX forums, hey, can we modify this to get on CB? I need to modify this to get on CB. And everybody comes back, well, it's illegal. You can't do that. And then, of course, the answer is, well, but I'm in Spain, and Spain doesn't have that restriction. So, you can't blanket say, that it's illegal everywhere. It might be illegal here in the States to do it. You can make the modification. That's not the problem. Transmitting on it can be a different issue. But again, it depends on the country you're in.
So what you're saying is if I transmit on it, I should make sure that I give the grid square as to somewhere other outside of where I'm where I'm at.
Don't get DF'd.
I'm kidding. Let me say that again. It was just a joke.
So
Don't
would we need to
crucify me.
define this question a little bit more? Because I find that it's so because it says modifying a radio for general coverage and then transmit is illegal. So I think there's like, do we need to define a little bit more what we're talking about? Like,
what is general coverage? What does that mean?
exactly. So that's where it's kind of like, what are you saying? Because like honestly, so my FT950, I can do an upgrade on it and I can open up 60 meters because it doesn't do 60 meters stock. I can open 60. That's modifying it to transmit on another. Would that be considered general? Because then technically I can do it. So what are we talking about?
I would think that if you're opening up to operate on a band that your license has privilege to operate on, that would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me if I'm wrong.
No, that's fine. As radio experimenters, we have total capability to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Mars mod basically does that. Mars is an amateur radio service that military people can use. Mm-hmm. And in order to get on the frequencies that they're allowed to use, you have to modify the radio. Generally, when you make that modification, it opens it up for everything, not just Mars.
Right.
So just like with your 60 meter, you may be doing 60 meters, but I bet you can also transmit on 11 meters.
Right.
So
it's that's why there's no such thing as a Part 97 certified or type accepted radio with the FCC. Because we can go into the garage and tinker around and build our own radio. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be FCC certified for us to get on the air and transmit with it.
Yeah. As long as we follow the guidance of the spurious emissions and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very true. You guys think about it. Think about those little FM things, right? That transmit into your radio. So I've got an old cassette player and I want to be able to hear it, but I can't plug it into my car cassette or my car radio. So I get one of those little things that actually transmits on the FM frequencies. Mm-hmm. So again, power plays into all of that stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
You mean I can't modify my Bofang for 100 watts?
Good luck.
Yeah, but I'm not using it next to my head.
No, that's why you have a speaker mic. Get it right.
That's how you get a tuba.
We're allowed up to 1,500 watts on 2 meters.
Just not next to your head.
Just not next to your head.
You get a tuma that way.
Well, it's your head. I'm not going to speak for you. If you want to take that chance, that's up to you.
Exactly.
There's some good. There's some good ones in the antennas, Shane. We should go to antennas.
All right. So who's next? So I've done one. Daniel's done one. So who would like to grab something out of one of the next one?
Okay. I'll go.
You're not that young.
You need a 1.1 to 1 SWR reading to have a very effective antenna system.
That is correct.
Well, it says efficient. It says efficient antenna system.
Yeah,
it's still wrong.
Go wrong.
Because
you need that impedance, right?
Yes.
As long as you've got, here's what I think. As long as you have a 50 ohm match, if your SWR is out by 2 to 1, maybe a little bit higher, you're still going to get heard. Will you deliver the max power? No, but you're still going to have an efficient delivery.
Mm-hmm.
But wait a minute. When did we become rocket scientists around here? We're not bringing this space.
So said we were.
I'm sorry, Don. Did you not get that memo? We were supposed to go to Rocketdyne and get that certification. So Oops. I don't know what you've been doing on your days off, but
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Wait a minute. Is Rocketdyne still in existence?
Would this be one of those questions where you're honest? I have to be honest here for a second. Is this one of those questions where you have the theoretical efficiency of an antenna and then the actual performance of an antenna? Because I think when it says about the efficiency, because there's actually two questions here that are very similar, I think, but a very efficient antenna talks efficiency is specifying more a little bit about theoretical, in my opinion. So maybe 1.1 is a more efficient antenna, but the reality is the results that you get with something that's out of with a higher SWR is still an effective antenna. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, Don, what do you think?
Well, so there's actually a definitive answer to this, and I don't want to steal his thunder.
Do
The
it.
deal, Smokin' Ape just did a video, and I don't think he's released it yet. I don't, because I think it came in to me through like Patreon thing.
Yeah.
But that is an excellent overview of exactly this topic. And
how about this?
He covers SWR. He covers the efficiency of the feed line, all of that stuff, and he puts it all together. It's a very good presentation.
I was just going to say, if you were watching Adam and Jason on Sunday night, to quote Adam, K6ARK, if you were to cut an antenna and make it resonant for a section of the band, what happens when you start going one way or the other? Is it, again, I go back to, are we doing this to be rocket scientists? Or are we just doing this to get it as close as possible, have fun, and making contacts without endangering our equipment? Are we going to get so crazy over numbers? Are we going to get so crazy over a number that it's so trivial, in my opinion, that when someone says, well, I have a 1.7 VSWR. First off, it's VSWR, not SWR. You want to get me to grind? You want me to start grinding my gears? Okay. Okay. But then someone's going to say, well, I use the same antenna and at the same location, and I got a 1.3 to 1. What does that mean?
So Adam, K6ARK, when he was doing his little videos on how to make your little tiny antenna, the little tiny pocket antenna, and when he was rolling out his wire, he had his his meter on there, and he was watching for when he was walking away. He wasn't watching for SWR. He was watching for where his meter read 50 to 52 ohms.
Yep.
So,
or even at 48 ohms, the radio is not going to say stop. I don't see, because you're a little bit under, a little bit over. Yes, there are some thresholds.
SWR does not measure resonance.
Correct.
Exactly. It measures standing wave ratio.
We learned that on Sunday night.
Yeah, it's very important. But
and I knew the minute we mentioned antennas that Adam was going to jump here and go, "Oh, someone summoned me." I'm here to tell you, that fella right there knows his stuff when it comes to antennas. Not saying that none of the rest of you guys do either, but I learned a lot from Adam.
Give him wire or beer cans. It don't matter. He'll make it.
Yes.
Right. I have plenty of beer cans.
Yeah. Like I said, you should, when Ape drops his video and it comes out, watch it, because he pulls several things together, and you'd be surprised that, and because I was, that having a 1-to-1 at your antenna that does not mean that you get a 1-to-1 at the radio.
That's
and
right.
then your what's going on in between plays a lot into that. And you can have a 2-to-1 at the radio or at the antenna and still show up a 1.7-to-1 or something at the radio, because of the loss that's coming back through the cable as it pushes the power. So anyway, again, don't want to steal Ape's thunder there, but it is a really.
I look forward to that video.
No, very appropriate, Don. That was very appropriate.
Awesome. I kind of liken that to if you needed a 1-to-1 SWR all the time, no mobile stations would ever exist.
Yeah.
Because your compromised vertical antenna on your mobile is ever changing depending on the temperature outside, the weather outside, the type of road your car is sitting on. You can drive in a dirt road and it's different than driving on asphalt, then it's different than driving on a steel bridge.
Velocity.
So,
velocity,
man, everything changes it on a mobile application. There's a lot of guys who make a lot of contacts all over the world with a mobile radio, 100 watts.
Yeah.
Mobile radio.
Oh yeah,
yeah, for sure.
I like working them on POTA too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
All over the place. As soon as I hear that word mobile at the end of their call, so I'm like, what? Where you at?
Mobile or park to park,
Or park to park, right? Or QRP.
QRP.
I am Moses when it comes to QRP guys. I will park that pile up.
It's amazing. The QRP guys, I got 3 QRP stations. that were like I thought my radio was gonna fall apart. Like the signal was so clean. Then I got guys running power that just like sounds like garbage.
Was that when you were in New Jersey or Texas?
Yes.
I still like to run power though.
I would love to run power if I had the opportunity. I'm getting there. But I will
Mercury
say,
3S. It's great.
Trust me, that's where I'm going when I can. I love that. I love that amplifier. But I will say a lot of the contacts we made on Jason's hex beam, when we're looking at the meter wasn't moving. That was an S0, S1 maybe signal coming in, even on 17, and the guy is just we had to turn the volume down because the guy's blowing our ears off. But that's the advantage of having an S0 noise floor.
Yes.
Those signals that come in that are S1, S2 sound like an S9 station.
Yeah. Well, you should have heard it from my end when I hear KC5 HWB. Don't leave me hanging here, Steve.
Right.
I about died. I fell out of the car.
So there's a one that goes really good with this one here, if I may share it. I don't know who, because we have a whole list, guys. I don't think we're not gonna be able to go through it all today. Maybe we'll do another episode in the future with this.
Yeah, but somebody made 37 topics.
To go. Hey, listen, man, you gave me a task. I did my job. Okay,
you did great.
Molson, you did a great job
at it.
Yeah, it was a good
job.
All right, so the next one is if you need a tuner, you don't know what you're doing. So I think it goes perfectly with following up on this.
Wrong.
Ooh.
That's kind of a loaded question.
I'm going to say
that's
no.
what a tuner does, isn't it?
And the reason I say that is because I worked POTA with a guy who did a random wire vertical, and the tuner is what got us on all the bands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we couldn't run. We didn't have enough space to run an end-fed half wave, or we didn't have enough space to run, an 80 meter antenna. We just used what length of wire that we could get with the tuner in order to get contacts.
I was gonna say, and what's Adam's impedance on one of his antennas at the feed point?
He said it's the SWR was 50-1.
Yeah.
50-1. Yeah. So I mean, and
Very
I know
efficient.
he gets heard. I know he gets heard everywhere.
I haven't heard him on the air yet, so
I have, but I couldn't work it. I couldn't work him that day.
Is that
He was
the
on
antenna or is that
sideband.
the height? Which?
Well, I mean, he's usually at 10,000, 12,000 feet, and I'm usually at 1,000 feet. So technically, I should be able to work him, but
Yeah, but
I'm
he's a
not
rock
blaming
star and
it
you're
on my
not.
antenna.
So
Yes and yes.
Mm-hmm.
That he's
Well-
probably way earlier than I am.
I was gonna say, and the other thing is, it's that dit and da thing. I haven't quite figured that out.
Great point there, Adam. The infed halfway without a matching unit, fixed tuner. That's the matching unit on the infed half wave is a fixed tuner at 49-1.
Yes. So you go with that. Turn around and say that using that for a random wire. You can't DX on a random wire.
Hide and watch.
Right.
Everybody, these questions are so loaded. Go back, I swear, go back to Team Replay. Watch what Jason and Adam talked about last Sunday. Watch the upcoming video that Don was talking about. Forgot Abe, as well as there's some other good shows out there on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put it all together. Don't go losing your head over this stuff, but do it right.
And to go on with the random wire thing, you can't activate a park from a fishing sign.
No, you can't.
If you use a G90, we've seen it done.
Right.
I'll load up anything.
That's right.
Hold on. Hold on. Adam just said something about a G5 RV. Hold on. Where's the one about the G5 RV? Here? Hold on a second.
Poor Louis Varney. Poor Louis Varney is rolling in his grave right now because the man just made a simple antenna and
Right?
It works when it needs
And you
to.
guys got to fight over it.
Don, I can't find it. Don, what was the one? The G5 RV is a multi-band resonant antenna. Wasn't that the one?
Maybe. I was trying to pull it up too, and
it's resonant on 20 meters. Resonant on 20 meters only. I believe that's.
G5RV is fed with ladder line typically, is it not?
It's
Ladder.
in that rapid round.
Or 50 or a 300.
We had.
It says the G5RV is a fantastic all-band antenna. That's the one.
Yeah.
Under rapid round.
We had one of those in Costa Rica.
So I have one.
Yeah. Towards the bottom.
Unscrewing your coaxing, putting the end in a glass jar will keep lightning from hitting your antenna. I think that glass jar needs to be filled with bacon grease in order for that to be effective.
Yeah. And you better have a freaking live cam on it the full time because I want to see that thing explode.
So that's not actually, from what I understand, that's not actually the urban legend. From what I understand, is that it will contain the whatever hits your antenna in the glass jar, which is complete another
like that. All right,
bullshit.
You've seen an insulator on a high tension line, right? That thing is.
Who said cow pie?
Oh, obviously, if that were true, you should just hook your battery to it and you'd have infinite charge on it.
There you go.
That's right.
Hey,
that's what I would do.
That's a great idea.
There's so many hilarious.
I need to make a battery out of that.
Bacon grease battery.
Yeah. All right, so someone who hasn't gone so far, grab your, or if you don't have the list, feel free not to. But if you have the list, grab something off the list.
Everybody, quiet.
No.
Okay, good. Continue.
Yeah. So
I like the one number 4 there, the dipole, close to the no. Number 3, dipole 10 feet off the ground would never work. So
I would
I
call
don't
that
know.
as NVIS.
I don't know about the dipole, but the end-fed half wave,
at 3 feet off the ground works great.
Put it up 5 feet and was having a blast with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 feet. You put it too high.
Well, didn't Astroleah do one of her activations, and that thing must have been like 1.5 foot off the ground. That end-fed half wave.
Mm-hmm. And that wasn't a dipole.
No, true. Well,
it wasn't
an end-fed half wave is basically just a long dipole, right?
A dipole fed from one end instead of the center.
Everything's a dipole. A vertical is a dipole.
I agree.
So, but yeah, we hung up I think it was a 40-meter dipole. It might have been a 20-meter dipole for the Texas QSO party one year, and we did it in an inverted V, but it was a very wide V, and I want to say the apex was about 12 feet, and the ends of it were about 5 foot off the ground, and we hung it that way in an invis configuration so that we could talk to other counties in Texas, which was the point of the event.
Right.
So
I've done that on an activation because I couldn't get the apex any higher. Because of what I had at the time and where I was setting up at.
And if I remember correctly, Astroleah got California on the infed.
I think so.
From like 1.5 feet off the ground from Tennessee.
Was it?
Like
that's right,
one
she just
leg
built it,
was
right?
a little lower at the other.
Yeah, she built it with KM4 ACK, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, there was one like that, and I think she even got Alaska.
Oh, good God.
If she got Alaska on an infed that was 1 foot off the ground, I'm just going to quit radio right now.
Well, no. See,
I have to go back and watch, but I thought
she has
it took me 6 months and an infed 20 foot off the ground to get that.
See, she has that 20 dB advantage of a female's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we've already proven the YL voice is does it.
Look at Dude's latest video with Megs.
Look at Molson's video from
True.
Field Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molson got it.
Field day.
Yep.
But do you think some of these like, so it's almost like there's boxes that are, like there's certain conditions and people understand those conditions and they have this idea, right? And so, for instance, I understand the idea of the dipole not working from the ground. Like, I understand it's kind of like the theoretical, like efficiency. And there's a lot of ideas that people are defined by these parameters that they learn. But the reality is, like a lot of things in life, and when we do things, is that we can bend how things work. We can tune it. and it might not be the most effective or the best at optimal performance, but it will still work. And do you think it has?
Have you seen the video where Mike KMRD takes a piece of solder and makes a contact with someone on a repeater?
Yeah, that was the same night that the Fruit Loops box radiated. That's the same night that. So wait, hold on. We got something to share here. Hold on. This is come on. There we go.
New T-shirt.
I mean, here's the problem.
That needs to be a T-shirt.
That's definitely a T-shirt.
That is a T-shirt.
100%. But here's the thing, though. If you're using a 705 with only 5 watts, 6 dB gain ain't nothing compared to my 100 watt with 6 dB gain. So, like, that's the
says
problem.
The guy says the guy calling CQ in a female voice.
So how long before somebody figures out that we can make a recording on the 7300 of a YL calling CQ, and then we can sell it to you, and you can put it on your 7300
exactly
to call CQ.
I'm gonna defer that to Ham Radio dude.
No,
I need some voiceover work.
Yep. I was gonna say, how do you think Becca's gonna pay for her 705 at Huntsville? She's gonna record CQs for all of us.
Exactly.
Over Cameo.
Awesome.
Yeah, Cameo.
Exactly, over Cameo.
Hey Shane,
Shane,
you want to do rapid round, which is essentially it's a one-word answer, true or false. That's all it is. We're gonna go and let's go around in the circle that we are. Don, Joe, Shane, and answer it and do rapid round.
Yeah. So, do we want to start the answers with Izzo and work our way up? I'll do the question. I've got it pulled up.
Okay.
All right. The old written tests were much harder than the current ones. And go.
No. They were, and in fact, I would say they were easier, but that's more than one word.
I'm with you, man.
And I can explain why, but let's go on.
Not the point of rapid round. Yep.
Joe Brett, what do you think?
Oh, we got to answer the same question?
Yes. Yeah. It's rapid round. Everyone's going to answer my question. So
well, how can you give a different answer than what Don gives?
Why not? I don't.
Because you're the Don.
Anybody can disagree.
I would be the dunce going against what you said.
Here's the problem with that question. Did any of you guys take the older test? I would say Jason might.
How far back can we go? Right. Because I went to, so I go from 89, but are we talking to the guys who used to have to go to the FCC offices?
No, we're just talking about
how far back. Where are we going? How far back are we going?
Yeah, fill in the blanks or multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple guess.
Because mine were written tests, but they were multiple choices in 03.
Yeah, mine were too. Back in 90.
Yeah, you still got to know it, but you still have to know the material.
The reason I was giving my answer is because the advanced and the extra class tests were split. And what you guys are going through today and all of the struggles you're having with extra is the advanced test for us. And we could take that test and we didn't have anything else to and when we went in and took the extra, it was much shorter.
However, shut up, Shaq and Greg.
Go pour some more of that ice water, Greg.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Greg is true.
All right, Steve, go ahead.
I got to say the older ones were definitely harder.
All right, Molson.
I don't know.
He's Canadian.
Did you not take any of the written tests, or you're all online?
Not the old tests. So I trust Don's decision, his decision.
Beer snack.
All right, so as they progress, yes, they do get more difficult, but you're also looking at the fact that you've got the test and you've got the code requirement from way back when that they dropped, right?
Yep.
So yes, the old tests were harder.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jason.
Speaking as just about the technician test, I think it was harder than the current technician test today.
I agree with you. I think you and I took it pretty close at the same time.
Yeah.
Izzo.
I agree with Jason because I took mine in 1989, and I agree.
Mm-hmm. All right, question number 2. Contesting is more important than any other ham-related activity on the bands.
Oh,
and Don.
No.
He answered. It's a one-word answer.
One-word answer. Yep.
Joe.
Sure. I like it.
So you agree that contesting is more important than POTA?
No.
Okay.
POTA is a contest.
POTA is a contest.
No,
it's not. It's not a
You
contest.
get
You
points.
could use the work bands. That's it.
You get awards and points. And
But you
just
can't.
contest.
No, because you can use the work bands. So
Doesn't matter. You're still getting points.
Well, but
Right?
but if I'm doing worked all states, I'm getting points.
One-word
go.
answer's
That's
gone.
not the same thing. You don't get points.
There's some people's got more. Okay, this is rapid. One word answer. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Opinions are like noses.
All right, Steve.
no, they are not.
Molson.
It's all translate from French because it's more in English than in French. French is the one word. If you have control of frequency, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You have control of frequency. And
Okay.
that's it.
7.188.
Unless there's a net.
Only on 177.
188.
188. Yeah.
7.188.
Somebody email Cuba and tell them to jam 188. That's all I need.
So no contest. Nobody takes precedence. So contesting, no.
Okay. Jason.
Read me the question again.
The question. Oh shit! Crap.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Is contesting more important than anything else in the bands? Yes, it is. But does that mean it takes precedent if someone else is there first? No, it doesn't.
No, it's just the question is contesting is more important than any other ham-related activity on the band.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah. Now that doesn't mean someone can. That doesn't mean some contester can come along and kick you off if you've been calling
That's
CQ photo
very
for the last
true.
2 hours. That's not what that means.
And that's happened to me too.
Unless the only condition is if the frequency is designated for emergency use or other emergency communications.
Yeah.
Otherwise, nets, contests, they're all equal. If you have it, it's yours.
Perugula.
That's all I gotta say.
Perugula, no.
Don't put on 14,300.
Yeah. The question should be about
Oops.
nets.
Izzo.
No, done. Next question. Go.
All right, next question.
That's called rapid.
$10 for your DXpedition QSL card is reasonable and worth it.
Sorry, what?
Spending
Spending
$10
$10 for your DXpedition QSL card is reasonable and worth it.
Not to me.
Exactly. Me neither. I don't care where it's
That's a
from.
personal answer.
Right? This is rapid
they all?
round. So that's okay.
No. Okay, Steve, you're up.
Okay.
Yeah. No, unless they're one of these. You know.
Wait a minute. I don't see a Southwest jet in there. What is that crap?
You missed it. It was right there.
Thanks. Oh, okay. Thank you.
At 10,000 feet.
Daniel.
Not seeing the Southwest tells you what it's worth. Next.
Not $10.
Not $10.
Yeah,
Jason.
I don't even know what that means. So no.
Okay. No. Izzo.
0.0.
All right. Gotcha. All right. It will always rain or snow while you're doing antenna work.
If you're in the South, it's lightning, but
I'm gonna go with yes.
Same. Yes.
Yes.
yep.
Yeah.
Daniel?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Izzo.
Yes, and those antennas will always stay up forever and be efficient and be effective, and you'll have fun. Yes.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So cranking up the mic gain and processing is the best way to bust a DX pileup. So I'm going to say no. And the reason I say that is because when I'm trying to bust a pileup, I turn the bass down and the treble up so that I squeak as much as possible to punch through the pileup. That's on the 7300.
So you're a squeaker.
Yes.
Just use that wild voice.
I go back 30 years.
This is Kilo 5 Quebec Bravo Foxtrot.
higher. Gotta go higher.
Hold on, I gotta adjust my highs. Hold on.
Tighten up your pants. Just tighten up your pants.
This is a family show, Don.
No, it's not.
Oh, jeez.
I want to hear that on the. I want to hear that on the podcast.
No.
Next.
Yeah.
My radio
answer
actually
is no.
Getting pulled
All right.
over by the
Life is
trooper.
all right. Life is too short for QRP. I'm sorry, I won't do. I won't say I won't do. I don't prefer QRP because I don't have the patience for it. Just me, Don.
Yes.
Life is
yes.
too short for QRP.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Joe,
No, I haven't tried it yet. I just bought QRP. No.
You know, there's
Steve.
a dial on your radio you can turn.
I was gonna say, how many of us have QRP rigs in here? Yeah,
I
no,
don't have them. I just
Everybody's got a QRP rig. You just turn the power down.
Right.
exactly.
Jason's correct.
Daniel.
I'm along with Marty. More power.
Beer snack.
I used to say yes, but now I say no because I have operated at under 20 watts and I have been able to do stuff.
Nice. All right. All right. Jason.
I would say yes, life is too short for QRP. However, if I lived in the mountains, I would change my answer on that.
That's very true.
It's very short. It's very too short for QRP here in the flatlands.
It's geographic specific.
Yep.
yeah. Well, but you don't bust a pile up with QRP. I'm sorry you don't. I've been there, done that.
I will.
I don't care
I don't
how
know.
quiet it
Sounds
is.
like-
I don't know.
I was
If
like,
you-
I was like, watch this. I'm going to
If
turn
you
on
call-
my 1300 watts.
I think it's all. I think it's if the station listening is a good listener,
right. Correct.
and if you can time it, and I have done this, I can time myself. Let all the big guns, let everyone think they're going to make it, and all of a sudden I slip in FYG QRP.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it-
What
is it
you're
luck?
actually saying, though, Don, is if you do it exactly right and if you get lucky,
Okay.
and I can
but-
turn my amp on and I do not have to be lucky. I can blow other people out.
But I like the challenge.
Now,
That's a part of
I
our
agree
hobby. I like the challenge.
Yeah.
And I do too. I don't say don't do QRP. It's just that when I'm busting a pile up, I'm gonna turn that damn amp
I'm
on.
going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story. There's a guy in this group who was on Long Island. I could have went downstairs to my shack and worked him, as we say, across the pond, 40 miles away. I could have worked him on 100 watts. I was messing with him because he was a damn good operator. He was a damn good operator because
Let's not go that far.
all right, he was a good operator. Maybe he had a couple of beers, but
I need that sound effect that says 1.21 gigawatts. Every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
Don says I'm going to bust a QRP.
I was
Get my
dropping my
pile up.
power. I was dropping my power on Jason from 1 watt to 5 watts. And guess what he
Yeah, but-
said?
But
You're in the
Don,
log. Done.
Don, you ever realize that like when somebody's working pile up like QRP stations? Is there any QRP like?
Yeah, I like that.
Come on, it's
Yeah.
like helping out the guy. It's like
Right.
helping out the guy who can't get across the street because he's like,
well, okay, all right.
like
Okay,
you're
wait,
not that powerful.
Can't turn on
hang
his
on.
amp.
Hang on
They
there.
throw
Boy
you
Scout.
a
Joe.
bone.
Hold on,
Don.
Boy Scout. Hold on.
Yeah.
Listen,
Boy
they're
Scout.
throwing
What
you a
would have
bone, Don.
All right, so what would have happened? What would have happened on Sunday night with Carlos? With Carlos jumping out of the airplane?
What about it?
I'm just saying, if I had worked him, what would have been the difference then? Let's just say I worked Carlos with all those people calling him, and they were all running various antennas and various powers. And I told you guys in the chat, I told you I'm only running 10 watts off my off-center fed, but you guys were hearing me. But what if Carlos did hear me? What would have been the reason then?
Yeah, but Don, can I ask
Don't
you a
call
question?
it luck. Don't call
Don.
it luck.
Did you get the contact?
No, I did not.
Oh, exactly. Thank you. Okay, next question.
But it doesn't stop me from not participating the next
Oh,
time.
you can participate all you want to, but you don't get
And I'm not-
participation
and I-
medals for not
and
getting
I'm not looking-
contacts.
And I'm not looking for a trophy. I'm not looking for a trophy. Next.
No, you're just looking for a plaque on field day.
That's all we want. W2HRC wants a plaque.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, and we'll pay $25. Or what was that? We'll pay $10 for that.
Field day is a contest.
Yeah, it is.
I just left.
It even says so on their website.
Mic drop.
All right.
All right. Moving on.
Next one. The G5RV is a fantastic all-band antenna.
We've already hit this one.
All right. I'll strike that one then. Most wives and girlfriends think ham radio towers and antennas are really cute.
Let's ask Leah Nass.
Yeah. How many times has she said nope?
Yeah.
Okay. Discussing a subject, any subject for page after page on a particular ham radio website will actually make anything change. That's very true at a very specific item.
It'll add page numbers as it goes.
Add page numbers and add blood pressure to people.
It might make some of those stroke out
And they go up to 80
They're
meters.
sensitive to that. Don't go to 80 meters. 80 meters should come with a health and safety warning. Don't dial in here. Don't dial in here and here if you have XYZ health issues. Could cause cardiac arrest. Anyway. All right, so the next one. Remember, the bands are dead.
Until you call CQ.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Until there's a contest.
So,
or an operating event.
Or when you're operating POTA and everybody else is whistling on top of you.
Or
tuning up on
if you're operating POTA and KMRD decides to show up.
This guy turned that hex beam.
Right.
Antenna boy.
Right.
Antenna boy.
Oh,
All right. The final one is your wife will always hate your ham radio.
No.
I'm going to say no.
No. My wife found the Baofeng before I did. My wife had a ham radio before I did. So
wow.
I mean, yeah, when we were dating, she pulled one out from under her she pulled one out of her stash and showed it to me. I mean, that was one of the first ones that I ever got to actually handle. So
nice.
So I'd like to interrupt here for a minute.
I've never been ridiculed.
Sorry.
We had a Discord chat. If you're not in the Discord, there's many Discords. There's Ham Radio 2.0. There's the Ham Radio Clubhouse K5YVY. There's the Toads Discord. But the links are in the description. But we had a talk the other night, and I would like to encourage Don to give us a little bit more of his stories. And maybe if that's something that we can encourage him to come on the Clubhouse once in a while and talk about radio experiences in the past. But I'd love to hear more about Don's just the years of his operating experience and sort of stuff like that, how he got introduced. I know he was sharing exactly that story, how when him and his wife were dating, she pulled out a HT from underneath the bed. And I like hearing stories from ham operators, and I think it would be amazing to have him come on once in a while and share a little bit of his history and the story. Because Don, I don't know if you noticed, but you are highly respected in the YouTube ham radio community, and we appreciate having you here tonight. And we just want to encourage you to continue to be part of this community.
And
it's an honor to be here, guys. I really
thanks for coming out to the event that Jason put on. That was awesome. I had a pleasure working radio with you. I learned a few things while we were hanging out. Top notch.
Yeah. Well, to me, getting together with other hams and operating is one of the greatest things we can do in this hobby.
I agree.
Especially
exposing new people to it.
Yeah. The one thing I really like doing is getting on the radio and operating.
Yep.
It's one of those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got about 10 minutes left. We have a hard stop tonight. Unfortunately, we have a business meeting to take care of and a couple other things, but we have a hard stop coming up. So I'm going to take this last 10 minutes, and we're going to start with Don, Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf. we're going to start with you, and we're going to go work our way through the group here. What do you have coming up? How's your week been? Anything you want to share with the folks that are with us on YouTube, plus the ones that are coming on the podcast?
First of all, sorry I had to bounce off. I had lightning strikes outside, so we quickly just ran to the garage, and here we are.
Did you unplug the coax and put it in a glass jar?
Hell no. Check out my channel, Smoke Signals RF on YouTube. Thanks for all the great comments from last night's video. Thank you guys.
Great video yesterday, by the way.
Thank you. And I got some more. Like I said earlier, I got some more in-depth stuff on that screened operating. I'm gonna call it the operating hut.
I need to get with you on that because Mike had a great video with his shelter for his POTA day, but I like yours a little bit better. So
it's an operating pergola, Don.
All right. Quick story, y'all. When I set that thing up, there was a damn fly on the inside.
Of course there was.
I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and I said, all right, listen, tell you what, instead of me bashing your brains out because you only got a day left, tell you what, I left the door open in a few minutes. He was out the door, zipped that thing back down. But for any of you all who have problems, like I said, I will be doing a very much in-depth video on that device. I think you all are going to like that. So check me out on Twitter, Smoke Signals RF on Twitter, and thank you all for all your support. And my wife supports me. I'll just say that. My wife has never said anything bad about me. She loves me and supports me. So
you got a good.
That's awesome. Jason, what you got coming up?
My wife just got her general license last week, so
that's
nice.
She got an email today that had been updated in the database, so that's that's cool. So that I didn't get to answer that question. I kind of got skipped on that round, but that's okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. This weekend, actually at 7 p.m. Central Time this weekend, Hayden from Ham Radio DX is doing a live stream celebrating his break of 10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yep.
He's asked me to guest appear on that stream, so I'll be doing that. And then later on that night, Mike and KMRD, Mike and I are going to do our next late shift live stream. So we're going to kind of see how that goes. We had a lot of fun on that last week. It was we started it at 10 p.m. It was on my channel. We're going to do it on his channel this week. And it was just a fun stream. I mean, we just spent the first 20 minutes talking about POTA, and that wasn't even planned. We just did it.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah, you're right.
Was awesome.
It was an excellent stream. So be watching for Mike's channel. Hopefully he'll put that link up in the next couple of days. And then hope to see you guys on that live stream tonight. So both of those are Ham Radio DX and KMRD live streams Friday night. Should both be fun.
Absolutely.
Jason, are we having lunch tomorrow, Jason?
Yeah, I'll be on. Yeah, I'll lunchtime live stream tomorrow. I had a guest that was going to come on, and he's unable to make it, so I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I got a couple other ideas, so we'll see. But yeah, I'll be going live at noon tomorrow.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Beer snack.
Yeah, you're looking at it.
Yeah. Ham harder, brother. Ham harder.
You got here, there, everywhere. I've got logs to go through for our POTA weekend, and QRZ is so much fun to process with that.
Of course it is.
So I'm working on that. FT8 off this week, Thursday night. Everybody come hang out and play.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Tuesdays, Thursdays. Where you find me, man?
Fantastic, Daniel. We build, we learn. Anything coming up?
Yeah, so I got permission from the wife to put up a tower. I'm buying a tower, and we're going to go through all the processes, the foundation, the setup, the hard line, the lightning protection, everything. So, and I want it to be a conversation between us where we talk some of the technical stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll be documenting that. And I'm just so grateful that I didn't have to do a Molson rant tonight. Although I was ready, but I didn't have to do one. So
we just ran out of time. That's all.
Still got
that's
6
all
minutes.
right.
And Steve, we are still awaiting your first YouTube video.
Yep.
Where's it
I
at,
know,
brother? You've had POTA, you have all kinds of stuff. Bring it. Come on.
I know. Well, I'm looking at 50 emails I need to catch up on just from today on POTA logs to upload. So.
Do it tomorrow.
Okay. I got a few Forelanders that would be most upset if I don't get the logs in. So
eventually, we're going to see a Steve video coming up on YouTube, I presume.
Yep. Yeah, okay. It's coming.
All right. As long as we
10
know it's
years
coming.
later.
Hey, it's been 84 years.
Yeah.
Joe Brett,
What's up?
thanks for posting that video the other day. That was awesome.
You're welcome, Shane.
Now we just need to see you do some more live stuff.
Yep. So we got the few videos out on the 705 as I adventure with it. Now I'm kind of getting to the point of doing like a portable video, and that's not going to happen until the fall because what's that swamp word you like to use all the time? So that's what it is in Mississippi.
Swamp.
It's hot. Booty.
Booty.
So there may be a delay on that, but yeah, we got to try to find a time to go live and get the chat going and just hang out and see who all we can work.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
All right, so I'm trying to find a couple things right quick, but Don, thank you for joining us. And anything you would like to share with the group, with the folks that are hanging out with us? Anything you'd like to share with us?
Well, just the one thing that I put in the little private chat. If you guys don't know, Jeff, Ham Radio Nomad, his van burned just as Matt and him were going out to a POTA. They were actually out at the POTA site, and his van caught on fire. And Steve over at Toad's Discord has set up a channel and put a Patreon link there. So if you guys have a chance,
PayPal.
go and PayPal.
Yeah, PayPal.
Right,
PayPal.
right.
Yep.
Oh, PayPal.
I've got the link coming.
Yeah, you go over there and you know, help our friend out. It seems like he's doing okay, but you know, anything when you're going through something like that, we had a house burn a few years back, and you know, it's just something you don't really ever want to have to go through. So
exactly. So you'll see the Ham Radio Clubhouse posted the address there. That is Jeff's PayPal, and we ask, as long as he asks, send it friends and family, so that he gets the full amount there off of you. If you want to send something to Jeff, that account right there is the best way to get money over to him. He was not only was that his operating area, that was his home.
That was his home.
So yeah, so not only did he lose all of his ham radio stuff, he did lose his home. So keep that in mind. If you have the opportunity, throw some money over there if you can. I know he would greatly appreciate it.
And for those of us listening on Spreaker, it is, excuse me, I just lost it here. That's great. Jeff at ajprogramming.com.
And the link will also be posted in the description of both the YouTube video as well as the podcast. If you'd like to help Ham Radio Nomad that way as well, we'll put that link in the.
Come on, guys, pay it forward.
Well.
Pay it forward. There we go.
Absolutely.
Pay it forward.
We'll take care of that. As far as myself, K5 QBF, this side of the radio, I've got an antenna review I need to go film. It's supposed to be the next 3 or 4 days. It's supposed to be like almost 100 degrees or 101 degrees here in Texas. So I'll try to get that out by next week. We're finally going to take the Pac-10 Mini Infed half wave out into the field and do a field operation. Can't wait for that. I've seen Mike's video on it, and Mike put a link in there where he could do 40. Mine's cut to 20, so we're going to run it on 20 and see what kind of performance we get out of it on 20 at both 100 watts and we'll figure something else out. I like experimenting. I got a announcement coming from my channel in the next couple of weeks. So if you're not subscribed, everybody in this in here except for Don, because Don won't give us a link to his channel. Everybody is on YouTube. The YouTube links are in the description of this video. So come subscribe, hit the notification bell. There's always awesome content coming from any of the creators on here. And my name is Shane. I'm going to say 73. Everyone do an awkward wave. We're at the hour and a half mark. Everybody do the awkward wave. And
Hold on.
He's got 15 seconds. Go.
Boom. I just put Don's channel in the chat. Sucker.
Sub that channel. Sub that channel.
Sub that channel.
Eventually we'll have some content. But anyway, all right. Now, awkward wave and awkward
Good night,
wave and
guys.
beer
Thanks
snack.
for
You can
joining
send
us.
us out. Thanks for joining us tonight.